Hello, today's topic is cyber insurance. Many people think cyber insurance is a new type of coverage. It's actually been around since 1977, but lately it has become very popular and many companies have jumped into the market creating policies. Not all policies are created equal. Insurance. In general, insurance policies have 4 or 5 sections. They are declarations, the insurance agreement, conditions, some may have exclusions, and then there's definitions. Sounds pretty straightforward, but a whole lot of details go into that. Under declarations, this usually lists the named who's insured. It's important to make sure that if you have other key stakeholders in the organizations that they are named as a named insured in the policy. It also sets policy limits. Then we have the insurance agreement. This goes into an awful lot of details. Some of the items included in the insurance agreement are provisions for legal defense. If you're brought into a lawsuit, will your legal fees be taken care of? Business continuity and business loss of income. If there's an issue, will there be money available for you to continue your business and make up for that loss while you're dealing with it? Ransomware. Will the policy actually pay to the ransom for you to be able to recover your data? Third party and first party insurance. Most policies all cover first party, which is the named insured. Third party might be your customers or vendors that might suffer a loss because of something that happened within your organization. Customer breach notification. Lots of things to consider. If you're breached, Ohio is a breach notification state. There's a process you have to go through to notify everybody that's been affected. Is there funding to cover that? Policies may also specify that they will only cover a breach if the data has been encrypted, which really doesn't mean that there's a breach, but if data is not encrypted, you might find that there's no coverage. And there's also sections on international coverage. Conditions. All policies have conditions. These are things that you are required to do in order to have coverage. In the typical policies for cyber, they require you to have IT policies in place. They require you to have a firewall. They require you to have an antivirus/malware solution. Some may require you to have end user training. So understanding what conditions, what are the things that you have to do to actually be covered is extremely important. Exclusions. This is a big one, acts of terrorism. Sometimes ransomware, or if it's another foreign government that actually is attacking your organization, that might be considered an act of terrorism and you might not have coverage. So, force of nature, acts of nature, civil unrest. Currently we have a pandemic going on. We also have some civil unrest with some things that have happened throughout this country. There may be exclusions that you think you've got coverage, but if you experience an incident, you might not have coverage. The last part, typically in an insurance policy, is definitions. There are specific words and meanings to specific words in policies. And you can identify these words because they're typically all bold or they're in brackets in the policy. When you see that, you really need to go back and look. If you don't understand what that word is, you need to go back and understand what that definition is, because again, that all goes to your conditions and exclusions, what's covered and what's not covered. I'd like to share one of the sad stories, unfortunately, that happened here in the Miami Valley that we were brought into. The owner of this organization had his email password compromised, and the criminals monitored this company's account, the owner's account, for a while. And then they noticed an invoice come in, and the invoice had wire instructions. The criminals took that email before the owner got to see it, modified it, changed the wire instruction information, and forwarded it on to him. It looked like it came from the vendor, same letterhead, everything was normal, and this vendor is typically paid via wire. So the business owner authorized payment went through, and a few days later, they get a call from their vendors saying that we've not received payment yet. They double checked, payment went through, and when they started investigating this, it was determined that the email was intercepted and they actually paid a criminal The money disappeared. They were not able to recoup the money. It was too late, and the insurance company denied the claim. The reason the insurance company denied the claim was the owner of the company actually authorized this transaction. It wasn't theft. It was an authorized transaction, and there was no coverage. Again, it was fine, detailed language in the policy. This is a sad story, and this really amplifies the fact that you need to work with a professional. You need to understand what coverage you have, and more importantly, what is not covered. To help you compare cybersecurity policies that you may be reviewing, we are posting a cyber insurance checklist. You can use this to compare multiple policies and help you define what type of coverages are appropriate for your company. Then work with a professional that understands cyber insurance, not somebody that's just out selling a policy. Extremely important, or you may end up as one of these sad stories. One of the key things Quinexus does is assisting clients with risk management. There are several ways to manage risk, and one of the key ways is transferring risk. Insurance, cyber insurance is a function of transferring risk. If you'd like to learn more about how Quinexus might be able to help your company with risk management, IT services, please feel free to reach out to us. Our information is available on the website, and I look forward to hearing from you.